If only there were a way that were easy to play Demon Souls on your PC. Then came through the void, to the masses annoyed, a little thing called RCPS3. Rhyming is hard. Hello everyone. Welcome to this, yet more Demon Souls on my channel. For people who are new to all of this, who don't remember the plethora of Demon Souls ranting and VODs from Twitch and such that used to be around here, this is all going to be new to you. For the people who are around from the olden days, yes, that's right, it's back. I've now finally got RCPS3, the PS3 emulator, working correctly on my PC. And after a lot of finicking around to get a copy of Demon Souls that I could run with the emulator, we're now going to give it a go. It's based on specifications required to make this run. My PC, despite being a little bit old these days, I spec'd it out highly enough when I initially made it. It actually runs this pretty damn well, much to my surprise. So, yeah. I'm going to play some Demon Souls, that's what we're going to be doing. Now, as ever, despite this being my favourite of the Soul series, I've never completed a full playthrough of the game on this or any other channel. I think I finished it at least once on Twitch doing live streams. But the Twitch stuff was mostly me doing invasions back before they finally shut the server down last year. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Now I'll see if people aren't interested, that's fine. I'll just do what I always do and I'll play until I stop being amused. Because I feel that's probably the best thing to do. With any Let's Play situation. You keep going till you stop having fun. That's my advice to anyone.
The 12th, by channeling the power of souls, brought unprecedented
I've literally only just realised the 12th there implies that it's a very long family succession, doesn't it?
Fog swept across
It's not unheard of for different families to take certain royal names, at least in English monarchy, but
was cut off from the outside world, and those who dared penetrate the deep fog never returned.
Well,
but Valorfax,
something to be said for fog, isn't there?
Fangs broke free from the fog and told the world of Boletaria's plight.
It was scenic, mysterious,
that
and
the
a tourist trap.
Land had aroused the Old One,
Oh
the
my!
great beast below the Nexus, from its eternal slumber.
Look,
And
what a
that
king
the
does in the
tireless
privacy of
fog
his
had
own
swept
demon
in,
dungeon is his own
unleashing
damn
terrible
business.
Demons. The demons hunt down men and claim their souls.
Pretty standard,
Those
sir.
who lose their souls also lose their minds.
Well, the ride's
The
practically got a
mad
beer
attack
hat
the
of
same,
human misery.
and
I love it.
chaos reigns. Valorfax spoke of the enticing power of the demon souls.
There's gotta be a catch somewhere.
Each time a demon claims a human soul, the demon's
get a
own
coupon.
soul is invigorated by the life force,
That too.
and the power of a mature demon soul is beyond human imagination.
Kind of an overused phrase I've always
The
thought.
legend spread quickly. Mighty warriors were drawn to the accursed land, but none have returned.
That we know of.
Pure of the twin fangs,
This would...
Yurt the silent chief, Sage Urbane, Scurver the wanderer, the sixth saint Astraea,
Go ahead
and
and
her
tell me, it's a
knight
bit
Gar
of background art
Villa,
here has nothing to do with the game, by the way.
and Sage Frake the visionary.
Doesn't depict anywhere in the game, doesn't depict anyone from the
The
game.
colorless deep fog slowly creeps beyond Boletaria's borders. Humankind faces a slow and steady extinction.
Bit too topical there, lady.
The
Wind
deep
it in,
fog
wind it
will
in.
eventually swallow all lands, near and far.
We're not allowed to
But
talk about the deep fog, the
Boletaria
government
has
said
one
so.
Final hope. A lone warrior who has braved the baneful fog. Has the land found its savior? Or have the demons found a new slave?
I prefer the idea we just wandered in and are completely lost. That sort of fits sort of the general FromSoft ethos a bit more than this. That we didn't even intend to be here, we're literally just... I'm sure I should have taken that right turn at Albuquerque.
Brave soul who fears not death.
But spiders. Ooh.
I shall guide you
Okay, voice from glowing light.
so that you may lull the old one back to slumber.
Well, I'll try, but people have told me I'm very entertaining, so I don't know if that'll work. That wasn't the joke, you bastards. Yes, we're back. Back in Demon Souls. Oh, it feels so good. It feels so right. Yes, I'm playing the tutorial. Even though I have absolutely no reason to do this. Mainly because I haven't played in a very long time. I just can't be bothered to take my PS3. It's actually set up. I just can't be bothered to switch over the necessary wires. Literally, it's like 2 wires that I have to swap and then I can play. Actually, no, that's not entirely true. I'd have to swap a few things extra over. Possibly plug in my laptop because it's all hooked up via my my old recording software. But, you know, the general idea is it wouldn't be that difficult to really do. I'm probably making more of a meal of it than it really needs to be. Oh well. We'll manage somehow. Hey guys. How is everybody? Good, 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 good. Okay. One of you could please make an attack. Because I've got a... Yep, that's not how it goes. Parrying... There we go. I always forget the parrying is... It's kind of slow in Demon Souls. Like the attacks the enemies perform are slow, I mean. You get a fairly generous window... I forget if we did the animation there. You got a fairly generous window to actually, you know, activate your parry in. I think so anyway. But the period between waiting for the attack to begin and actually having something occur where you can attempt to parry, it's surprisingly long. As FromSoft's games went on, the amount of time between start of enemy attack animation and period where you can parry, block, riposte, whatever, that decreased in each successive game, I think. They tried to make it... I don't know. They tried to make it... Well, famously in DS2 they tried to make it predictive instead of reactionary. Like, if you had memorized an enemy's attack pattern, you could parry them. Because you'd need to be able to guess what they're about to do next in order to line up all the windows. This and DS1 very much reactionary. DS1 they made the window between, like say, start of animation and actual attack a bit shorter. And this one's a massive window. Like, you can see attacks being telegraphed from miles before you have to worry about actually reacting. If you're going for a parry, that is. They'll try and fix this at later points in the game by just stacking a number of enemies that come up to you and interrupt your ability to get parry timings down. Like they'll attack in like a sequence to make it difficult to be not, you know, getting hit in the face while you're trying to parry. And then going forward through the series, they just make the window shorter. So you need faster and faster reactions to do it. I suppose how we get stuff like Bloodborne. Bloodborne's an interesting one because technically it has probably the shortest like gap between attack animation start and parry window, but you can parry from a distance. Ooh. Yeah. Interestingly enough, the area back there is actually technically fully playable. You just can't get to it. Like, there's a whole sequence of corridors and stairs. I think it's actually... There might still be the remnants of an activatable shortcut back there as well. Because I've watched a few videos on this, people who've like data mined and reactivated stuff that was eventually turned off or blocked off, as the devs decided they didn't want to use it anymore. And yeah, that's a massive window. And yeah, originally apparently the plan was to teach you all the stuff. So like in this tutorial section you would learn about what shortcuts are, how you find them, what the purpose of them is, that sort of thing. But eventually the team decided that, well, we're guessing here admittedly, the team probably decided that the tutorial is short enough that adding a little loop back section just to show the player, you know, this is a thing that will happen in later levels. You'll be able to loop back to where you've been and open up doors that let you get to new areas a bit faster. It was kind of pointless in an area this short. It didn't really do anything that would make the player think, yes, this is a beneficial thing, I should definitely look out for this. In fact, it might have ironically done the opposite. I can't even imagine playing a FromSoft game under the impression... You were here the entire time. You were watching me advance. You could have shot at me. You're a terrible guard. They're playing a FromSoft game under the impression that shortcuts were useless. I can't even imagine that. That'd be horrendous. Hey guys, remember me? No? Okay. Indeed. I don't know exactly what this guy's plan was. Perhaps I stand really, really still. She'll think I'm a statue and go away. How'd that work out? Not well. Not well at all. Admittedly, these are like the absolute dregs of the Boltarian army we're encountering out here. We've literally just crossed the fog barrier. So in theory, these should probably be the most normal people. I mean, other than a pitifully weak demon that's sort of been left as like a little bit of a, well, you might call it a vanguard? Yeah. Other than that, not really much here to worry about. Up and away. Now, again, this design might be incredibly familiar to anyone who's ever played Dark Souls. Yeah, they did basically reuse this for the Asylum Demon, the Fire Sage, the Stray Demon. But no, I think Vanguard actually pulls it off better. He looks like a big meaty monstrosity. But the bulbous, overdeveloped musculature by his wings. So you can tell they'd probably be able to flap powerfully enough to do this, and probably not much else. If that makes sense. I think the issue with like Asylum Demon's design, it's a bit more streamlined than this, yeah, I get that. Looks like a slightly more realistic creature, ironically. Also the wings look a bit more spindly. They lack this sort of extreme, bulky musculature. Game? Game, please. There you go. Ah, yes, I'm playing a FromSoft game again. The lock-on randomly not cooperating. Now, because I missed that shot, I'm not going to be able to do this, am I? Gonna regenerate in time? No. Okay. That's fine. Poke! That's right. He was a general in a demon army until he took a rapier to the knee. Old school. The idea was I was going to kill him with magic, but I missed one shot. Basically, if you don't miss any of your soul arrows, you can kill him just with magic. I wonder if his health was low enough I could have done it the ultimately humiliating way by smacking him with the butt of the wand. That's the thing. In this game, like attack damage with a wand isn't entirely terrible. It's not great, don't get me wrong. It's like 10 points of damage. I don't think it scales with anything either, but it's bloody hilarious in the early levels. Like smacking someone. Hey doggy. I know. The Alien Queen. She's not had a lot to do since the kids left home. Just been watching a lot of workout videos in quarantine. Where was it? Yes. Like in the early game, you like smack them with a spell. And it doesn't quite kill them, you're not quite strong enough to kill them with a single shot. And then you just boop! Boop them on the head with the back of your wand, and it's the best thing ever, it really is. But I tend to avoid doing it just in case, but you know. Oh, shut up! My god, that breath! Please, take a mint! So people can't accept constructive criticism. Just trying to help. That's that. That, by the way, is the Dragon Guard. It's a boss we're fighting probably not for a long time yet. Depending on which order I do the levels in. The voice some of you might be more familiar with is the voice of the doll. This lady is she becomes something of a legend thanks to FromSoft games. Well, that's how I know her anyway. This particular voice actress. She might be much more well known for other things in other departments, I don't know.
So the world might be mended.
Sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan. You called? I heard there was chicken parm. Ugh. I feel like a bit of yoga beforehand.
This is the Nexus. It holds together the Northern Land of Boletaria.
Nemesis?
Thou canst not exit the Nexus, but each of the 5 archstones will connect.
Yeah. Being reborn as a spooky ghost takes it out of you. What can I say? We've died. The Nexus has trapped our soul. We cannot escape. However, by getting demon souls, you can reclaim your physical body. But you still can't escape the Nexus. Just putting that out there. Actually, I don't think the game ever explains that, does it? No, it doesn't. It never explains why you can't just leave once you get your human form back. The next you're buying, you're supposed to work on your soul.
Well, you slipped through the fissure too, did you? You came for demon souls? Or to save this land and be remembered as a hero?
I was looking for milk.
Hunting for demons? Try one of the archstones. Now go. That is why you came, is it not? To this accursed Boletaria.
I just wanted groceries, man. Right. But yes, as Blue Man Troop there is succinctly put, we need to go through archstones, kill demons.
Stockpile Thomas.
We have more characters to meet
When the
first.
scourge came, I didn't know what hit me. When I came to, I found myself here, in the Nexus. My wife and daughter fell victim to the demons.
Because he ran
I
away.
would be worthless in battle. At the very least, I hope to lend my assistance to you brave slayers of demons. I would be happy to lighten your load and look after any excess baggage. Best of
Yeah,
luck.
5 minutes, already got a groupie. We'll talk to you later. That's Baldwin. He's a bro. He'll upgrade some of our stuff early game. At least until we meet his brother Ed, who's a much better blacksmith. There's lots of NPCs in here. I'm going to try not make it too much of a talky episode, so I'm going to get going, start killing some stuff. Once we finish the first level, I will come back and I'll chat to a couple of NPCs, try to get some free goodies, that sort of thing. I'm probably going to go Spellbro build. Sort of sword and those god rays, though. My god, it's so beautiful. Where was I? Yes. So, sword, spells. It's a good general build in most FromSoft games, but really good in Demon Souls. There's very, very little that I think is actually actively resistant to magic. There's a crap ton of stuff that's really weak to fire early game. I mean, really weak. I think there's almost nothing that's actively resistant to magic. At least what I can remember, anyway. Doesn't necessarily mean there is nothing, just means I can't remember it, which... yeah, well... it is what it is, what can I say? So yeah. That's what we're going to be doing. I will, like I say, after we finish this, I'll go back. I will get a few spells I want from Spellbro. See if I can convince the Faith Bros to give me anything for free. And as with all FromSoft games, deal out free proctoral exams. I do have a build idea, actually. I want to create a build around the winged spear. Now, I don't know if this... I can't remember more accurately because I played a lot of this game. If the winged spear is any good for a spell sword build, but... that's what I want to do. I like the idea. I don't think I've ever actually properly played through a FromSoft game using a spear. I've used polearms, but not spears specifically. Now, this is going to be awkward because the winged spear, I think you can get it as a treasure in a later level, I think. But there is also a chance it can drop off certain enemy types. Any of the spear and shield guys you encounter around Boletaria has a small chance to drop one. And the big, spooky, terrifying red-eyed knights you'll find scattered around the first level and the third level of Boletaria also have a slightly higher chance to drop one. So there are options. Well, obviously what I'm hoping for is that I run through level 1 here, I'll get a random drop. That would make my day. I'm not expecting to, but I'm hoping. If that doesn't happen, what I'll probably do is buy myself a regular spear from the merchant's level just as a backup. And then after we've finished all of this, what I'll probably do is head into the second level of Boletaria, at least far enough to try and get the treasure drop version of the wing spear. If I can do that, grand. I can then make a decision while we're in the level whether we back out and go elsewhere, or whether we actually push ahead and try and finish it. Because the boss for level 1, 2, really not that difficult, in all honesty. Kind of simple, even. Go away. I love being able to do that. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's my plan. Because the wing spear just looks really cool with like enchantments on it as well, which, in my opinion, helps. What I might do... Actually, you know what? Because I enjoy just playing through this game just as is. What I might do, if we don't get lucky with a drop, just don't want to try and keep my options for which level I go into next open. What I might actually do is do a bit of off-screen farming. Like I'll run back through the level and try and kill a bunch of spear dudes. See if I can convince one of them to be a chum and just give me his goddamn spear. That shouldn't... Well... It depends really, doesn't it, how nice the game feels like being to me. Because there's a chance this will work swimmingly, and everything will be fine. However, there's also a chance the game will get its knickers in a twist and tell me to go screw myself. And it just won't drop it no matter what. Now the game does have a feature that wasn't terribly well understood at the time the game was released. It's a bit better understood now. Called the World Tendency System. That weird gem icon thing in the top right, next to the name of the level. That indicates what the current state of the world you are in is like. So, fairly mediocre, fairly neutral, nothing particularly interesting going on in the background there. That's basically your standard state for a world you enter. As you progress, and especially as you kill bosses, sorry about that. As you kill bosses, the state of the world will get better, and the icon up there will turn a brighter and brighter shade of white. As this happens, certain things around the world change. Certain environments will become accessible that weren't accessible before, certain NPCs will appear or disappear. I remember correctly, I think enemies take less damage the further you go into white, and it's either they take less damage to kill or they deal less damage, one of the two. Just things generally improve. However, if you make things worse, and by worse it means if you keep dying repeatedly, I think if you do certain other things like kill NPCs, I think counts towards as well, that icon will turn darker and darker until it's outright black. Now at that point, once again, certain events will become available. Certain character quest lines will be able to be completed, different NPCs will appear, so on and so forth. What also happens in Black World Tendency, assuming I'm remembering this correctly, enemies, they're like a little drop table they pull from when you kill them to tell you what you found. The chance of you getting the rarer items on that list goes up. I think it can actually change the amount of items you get as well, stuff like consumable heals. So if you keep dying repeatedly and failing, the game rewards is the wrong word, but it gives you more tools to experiment with. So it gives you more heals, it gives you rarer drops, new weapons, that sort of thing. It will also actually punish you by making the enemies... It either gives them more health or it ups their defense, one or two. I know that for a fact. I think it might actually make them hit harder too. The idea being that if you can't beat them normally, the game is going to force you to keep trying against the same enemy type until you've learned their moves, their patterns, what their general abilities are. And then as you succeed and push forward, obviously you improve the world, it goes back towards white. The enemies don't change their attacks, all that stays the same. So all that knowledge you've learned, or been forced to learn, stays the same. It just, they go down a bit easier. Which is an interesting way of doing things. A lot of people didn't like it when this game first came out that it did that. People just interpreted it as, oh, you're bad, therefore you're being punished. And no one likes that sort of sentiment. So it was a sort of a forced learning thing that people didn't always understand. I actually quite like the idea. It's like, well, if you keep dying, then obviously there's something you're not getting. Rather than risking you getting lucky or cheesing your way past something, will actually increase the difficulty each time you fail. So by the time you're succeeding consistently, and we drop the difficulty back to normal, you've basically mastered that little bit of the combat system. Okay, game didn't like something there, it chugged for a second. Admittedly, like I said, my PC is pretty good for what the specs for this was supposed to be. However, it's not a top tier PC by any stretch of the imagination, especially not a top tier modern one. Back at the time I constructed this, this probably would have been considered anywhere between mid to high range in terms of tech and specs. Which is why it's held on as long as it has in terms of usability. Like for example, when I was setting all this up and I was checking all the detailed guides, a lot of the stuff people were talking about and recommending, like in terms of hardware to run this, I had either equal or above. I think in terms of like my graphics card, I was somewhere in the middle of the range, towards the high end, of what they recommended you'd need to run this properly. So yeah, it all worked out. Still a bit of weird issue with the audio now and then. I need to try and figure out what's going on there. I've tried a couple of different settings, and it doesn't seem to make any difference. There's some sort of ambient track that's either not loading correctly, or it's getting looped before it starts. You can't always hear it. Just every now and again it'll kick in. And PC doesn't like something, it's chugging again. Come on, you can do it. No idea we're looking at. Oh, is it because all that stuff is in the distance, you're trying to render that? Is that what's going on, is it? Then again, From games are kind of infamous for putting too much detail in background stuff. Oh, that slow swing. In every FromSoft game ever, that always gets me. That's never going to change. A little bit of proctology. A little bit of that. There we go. Just had to practice, then I got the swing of it back. We're okay. We're okay, folks. We're okay. Now, speaking of shortcuts, as I was earlier, this is the first of our shortcuts in this general direction. It's actually literally just a long-ass staircase that goes all the way down this tower. Quite realistically so, actually. You would need to be able to get up and down the battlements quickly, and having a big staircase like this would work out, in terms of the enemy, if they got into the gate at the bottom, not being able to get a massive army all up quickly in one go. Oh, right, this is Demon Souls. Yeah, if you can see it on the screen, it's still happening. So later From games, like the hitbox would die away before the animation had stopped for stuff like fire. In Demon Souls, no. If the animation's still playing, the threat is still there. Yeah, I'm gonna get used to that, aren't I? I have to make sure like things like flame effects are completely gone before I even think. Mid-air parry! Before I even think about having to step through the area. Right. And this is one of the many reasons I wanted a ranged option early on. This little corridor section here, absolute pain in the backside when you play without a ranged option. It's not impossible, not by any stretch of imagination. Like I say, just time consuming. I can't just stand there and go pew 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 and be on my way. Gotta lure them up, one or two at a time, smack them down, lure the next couple up, rinse and repeat. Again, not the end of the world, not by any stretch of the imagination, just not the way I'd like to be spending my time. Got shit to do. Actually, I don't, but, you know. I literally did everything I wanted to do this morning, so I'm completely out of stuff to do. It's insane. Gone back into my artwork, I've started drawing again. A lot of that's inspired admittedly by the missus. Before I take a crack at putting her into the world of The Witcher. She quite enjoys that series. So I made a version of her as a Witcher, which she seemed quite taken with, so I'm going to consider that a job well done. In the other news, we've been doing doodle challenges. Quite literally, she got a book that just, each day it's got like an idea for a drawing, and you have to successfully do that, you have to do that drawing. We'll be doing that and comparing. Now, down there, that's a crossbow, basically, that treasure down there. I can't remember if you can safely fall down there unless you have the cat ring. It's exactly the same as it does in all the other From Tough games. Lets you fall further distances without taking damage, or it reduces damage. One or two. Demon Souls is weird about fall damage as it is. Like Demon Souls, the distance you can fall safely is wildly inconsistent from level to level.
That was a bold jump. A surprise indeed. Well, now that you are here, pray thee, fend off these dreglings.
Will do, Ostrava. That's our buddy. So yeah, despite his amazing armour, glowing magical protection, his sword and his shield are actually kind of crap if I recall correctly, which you can't get them yourself, same with all of the From games.
My thanks
actually not
for
very
your
good.
brave rescue. I am Ostrava of Boletaria. Accept this as a token of my gratitude.
A telescope. Hooray! It's very useful because there's a lot of stuff in this game you can't aim properly manually. So having the telescope, same as with the Brockies in Dark Souls 1. Very useful. It'll help you line up shots that you couldn't line up otherwise. Ho! Indeed. Damn it, missed. Yeah. Swing and a miss. My turn. Oh god, he's not dead. Thankfully, a couple of gold. Let's see how one gone. Oh, good job, Ostrava. Taking on the foot soldiers and an armored knight by yourself. How could this possibly go wrong? There we go. Good job I was here, huh? You are a tit. What are you, Ostrava? A tit, exactly. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking Wing Spear as my build idea. So I looked at some stats earlier. We need at least 13 strength. Everything else should be fine. And then use a bunch of magical enchantments to make the weapon even stronger. I cannot for the life of me decide whether I want to try and take it down one of Demon Souls' bizarre and convoluted upgrade paths. I mean, I could basically just do the strength I require to wield it, and then just pump everything into Dex. And then change it to an upgrade path that basically scales with dexterity. That's an idea. It produced fairly decent results. I could change it to an upgrade path that causes it to scale semi-well with both strength and dex, and then distribute my stats. So I can do like a range of other weapons if I change my mind. But I'd only ever get mediocre returns out of whatever I chose by doing quality. There are some very, very specific weapons in this game that to get top tier damage out of them, you need to take them down that path. But I also think I could not for the life of me remember what weapons are what in that regard. And then you got standard upgrades. So literally just making the weapon generally stronger. That provides you your highest base damage without needing any kind of crazy stat investment. So a good idea if I'm planning to pump a bunch of stats into magic to get various spells and enchantments, that could be an idea. God damn it. Don't you run! Come back here, boy. No respect. No respect at all. Just trying to casually murder someone. And what do I get? Nothing but disrespect. Nothing but disrespect. Yeah, so we'll figure it out. If there is anyone watching who has experimented with the wing spear, or perhaps understands... I've tried before to use like Mugen Monkey and stuff, I just don't get it. If there is someone who understands that a bit better, feel free to play around with that and let me know down in the comments what would be my best options to get maximum damage out of the wing spear. And what would I have to sacrifice to do that? Like, for example, if I was to take it down the sharp path, the dex path, how much dex would I have to pump up to get a better return than just taking it down the regular path? Or even the quality path? Just what is my best option without losing my access to spells and enchantments, which is what I want to do with the whole spell sword thing. Oh god, the god rays. Don't remember them being that intense in the original game. There might be a weird emulator thing that's going on there. Ah, no night shield. Arguably one of the best shields in the game is the shield the Blue Eyes and Red Eye Knights carry. However, your chance of getting them to drop one of the damn things is... yeah, it's not high. I think you can pick one up as a treasure item. Like, right at the end of the game. Well, say at the end of the game, technically you could get it... You could just bum rush. No, you can't, can you? I'm talking to myself partially now, I know. In order to get to the level where that item is, assuming it's even where I think it is. Good job, Mr. Motivator. Yeah, to even get there, you've got to unlock, like, the second half of this. Ooh, guillotine axe, nice. If I was planning to make a strength build, that would be awesome. You just get the items you don't want. Guarantee. Like, if I was making a strength build, I probably would. I'd get, like, the wing spear, like, twice over within the first 10 minutes of playing this level. And never get the guillotine axe. That's how it would go. I envy those people who are better at reacting to drops than I am. Like, I've seen people play this over the years who, they're quite happy just to, with no particular plan in mind, just go forward. Whatever decent weapon they first happen to get their hands on, that's what they go with. I can't do that. If I've made a plan that I want to do a specific thing, even if I were to get an amazing item that works super well by going a different progression path, I just can't do it. My brain just rejects it outright. It's like, no, we had a plan. This is what we're doing. Yeah. In case you noticed, that guy just threw a firebomb into empty space. The idea is, if you come from the other direction, he's supposed to ambush you by making all those barrels that I exploded make explode as you step through. Interestingly enough, despite the fact that there was a very clear way for you to come back the other way... How dare you?
But who's telling you?
Despite the fact it's quite possible to come the other way, they never put anything into account for it. Like, you can come the other way, you can blow up the explosives yourself, but he's still programmed to have the first thing he does as you enter that general vicinity is chuck a firebomb. That's always baffled me. But yeah, we're gonna pick up a few odds and ends. I want plate leggings. Mostly for the fashion, a little bit for the defense, but mostly for the fashion. And we're gonna pick up a short spear, just in case I don't get my drop. In worst case scenario, I'll use it for like 5 minutes in the next level, until I can get to where the treasure version of the wing spear is. That's assuming, like I say, that my attempts to try and farm one off video don't go through. It's usually the way these things happen. I guarantee, like, as soon as I stop recording, I'll pick up like 3 of them in a single run or something daft like that. More or less guarantee it. Although now I've said that, the gods of gaming and all that might curse my RNG, and by extension me. You shall find only petals and half a bag of jelly babies. Well, that's not so bad. All orange! You monster! It's a joke that can make no sense to anyone except me. Oh well. Tough. Ow! Never can figure the distance out of that. It is possible to release those balls without getting smacked in the face. In fact, with the rapier, it should have been easier. There's a backstep attack that I should have been able to do. To pretty much guarantee that I did that without being hit, and yet I forgot to use it. Because I am rusty as all hell at this. That's why I chose to play as a redhead. It's symbolic. Pew! And if you are watching this, my lady love, no, there are no other reasons I chose a redhead. Shut up. Ah, man. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Oh, by the way, if anyone is looking to do this yourself, to grab yourself essentially a PC version of Demon's Souls by putting it through the emulator, the instruction guide on the website for RCPS3 is incredibly detailed and very thorough. So I have no doubt. Yeah, you can see everywhere you're going to go. And our weapons somewhere along that path as well. I can remember like playing this for the first time and seeing that big winding path and thinking, wow, that looks impressive. And then thinking nothing of it. And then obviously coming back and realising in the middle of the next level, I'm on that path I saw from the dragon nest earlier. That is insane. And then considering what happens while you're on that path, that also suddenly makes a lot of sense. It's like, of course that's going to happen. You can see the path from the dragon nest, so what did I expect? You missed. Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta kill me some demons. Ugh. Gotta hang around, gotta keep rolling on. 'Cause what lies ahead is gonna roast all your friends. Come back, you lazy dragon. God damn it. Spoiling my plans. I had plans. Yeah. Schemes, intrigue, danger, romance. Bloody dragon. Ruining everything. Stupid dragons. Whoa. I can see the code. You can't hit me. Here he comes. Nope. I feel almost bad for you. Not really. A little. There he is. Come on, lazy dragon. Come on. There we go. I'm just saying the Hellkite would have barbecued all of those guys and me by now. I'm just saying. In fact, I'm going to steal all your treasure for this. Yeah, I'm going to steal all your treasure. When you're finally doing your job, I'm going to take all your worldly goods. Yeah. I'm going to be like a goddamn Nigerian prince. Taking all your shit. Okay. This right here, this is mine. This over here, this is mine. These two things over here, guess what? Also mine. Thank you. This thing over here, oh god, you better believe that's mine. Nope. Nice try. Also mine. Stupid dragon. I stole all your shit. It actually went really well. Ew, that's a lot slower than I remember. Or perhaps I'm just so used. I played a lot of Bloodborne lately. I'm so used to things being so frenetic and fast-paced that I'm overestimating how quickly I need to react. Is that even a thing? I guess that's a thing. Clearly a thing. It's what I'm doing. God. They're all dead. Flap, flap, flap. Come on. Fly. There we go, lazy dragon. I need to cause you to go back to your little nest to give me the maximum amount of time to get across the bridge unmolested. Or accurately unbarbecued, which is a fair deal more important, I feel. I think I have to grab this though. That's nice. Always do with more heals. More heals is not a bad thing. Nope. Ow. Okay, that didn't work as planned, but whatever. We got semi-unmolested. That's good enough for now. Come on. You gonna drop me a spear? Nope. Loser. Deadbeat. Villain. Don't know what happened there. Ow. You're not a mini dragon. Knock it off. You're throwing firebombs. Nobody likes a suck up. I'm just saying. Okay, takes care of you two. Get some more goodies before the dragon comes back. So I believe you'll find all of these are mine. I can hear flappy wings. I can hear flappy wings. I don't want flappy wings right now. I'd go for hot wings. Hot wings would be good. But flappy wings, not so much. I never realised there's music in the background. How have I never realised this? Good job, you showed that bit of pavement. That's actually a spear we can get as well. That's a potential upgrade pack. It's called the Scraping Spear. Damage is absolutely appalling on it. I don't think it scales very well either. Its major gimmick is it wrecks armour though. So the idea is after you've smacked... I think it works on enemies as well. I think it does. That'd be after you smacked someone enough times with it, it'll basically destroy their armor. So the next attack is effectively hitting just bare skin. So like minimal armor rating. So basically, the only defense is provided by your stats, nothing else. And so at that point, the damage doesn't have to be fantastic. It's still going to be absolutely devastating because it's not being reduced. Well, basically at all. That's the idea anyway. Although in practice, especially in PvP, back when that was still active here, before they shut down the servers, what people would tend to do is they bust into your world, smack you with the Scraping Spear to wreck all your armour, and then they'd switch to, you know, an actual weapon that did proper damage. A weapon they probably could have killed you with, even if you still had your armour. And then they'll proceed to basically style all over you and kill you in like 1 or 2 hits. Because you're basically trying to combat them naked. From like a gameplay perspective. You have stuff like that. You would have... Was Acid Search in this game? Was that one of the others? But like shit like that would just utterly wreck your day, destroy your equipment. You'd have to spend a small fortune to get it all properly repaired. So that you could play the proper PvE stuff without getting annihilated every 5 steps. Yeah, Scraping Spear was an absolute nightmare. And something they never really... Well, they never patched. We can go over there later once we've changed the world tendency. I have to remember to do it though, because I always forget. There's a lot of the world tendency events that I don't actually tend to bother with, unless I'm specifically looking for an item that I can only get via a world tendency event. You've got to be very careful as well, since this is obviously not online. Demon Souls had a thing where if it was, I forget exactly why it was. I think the idea was so you couldn't get stuck in like Black World Tendency, unable to make the game like back down to normal difficulty. If you had turned the console off, you had to turn the console off entirely. When you came back on, the hell are you doing? Okay. When you came back online, it would check the server, and it would set all your world tendencies to match what the average was for all of those worlds, like across everyone who's connected. So if the vast majority of people had got your world as, you know, like white setting, it would push your world setting back towards that, which was great in theory because it stopped you from getting stuck, like say, in Black World Tendency and being dominated by overpowered enemies and whatnot. But if you were specifically trying to make Black World Tendency because you wanted an item or event you could only get in that setting, it was a nightmare. Like, you'd log back in and suddenly notice a quarter or more of your work had been undone. You'd be like, no! Ow, speaking of which. Firebomb! Firebomb! Ow. Firebomb! Firebomb! Yeah, this is not an intense fight. If you come in with a good stack of firebombs, bit of turpentine when you run out of them, yeah. Not only is this not a difficult fight, it actually becomes kind of a joke once you get strong enough. Oh, I missed that entirely. That's why you probably should lock on, really. And I'm gonna die if I'm not careful. I'm shit-talking the boss and I'm losing health like a motherfucker. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Demon Souls, the bosses were more like events than fights for the most part, with the exception of one very, very famous exception. I think anyone who's played Demon Souls knows exactly what I'm talking about. Most of them were gimmicks, especially like the complete end of stage bosses, especially were gimmicks. They were like cinematic puzzle fights rather than actual fights for the most part. With the exception of one major one, possibly two, I guess. Because there's one fight that's meant to be like a straight up fight against an uber swordsman kind of thing. So, but yeah. But in a way that was the gimmick. Anyhow, how long have I been going? Almost an hour. I haven't noticed at all. Jesus Christ. That's just how much I love this game. I can keep playing this for hours and hours and hours and not even notice. Okay, cool. We'll walk back to the Nexus. I think there's a cutscene to watch. I think. Because we've killed a demon now. And then we'll call it today. Yeah, there we go.
Welcome back.
That foot. Much fetish.
The monumental awaits the above.
And it's something no other From game would ever do. A cinematic showing you where to go. Although, in admission, most other From locations weren't really that difficult to get around.
The monumental will explain the Nexus to thee.
It's mostly like all the narrow corridors that make it difficult to figure out where the hell you're supposed to be going. And that final pan doesn't help either. It implies you have to go further up than you actually have to go.
Still alive? I am impressed.
Thank you, Blue Man Group.
Something that might interest you. The black-robed maiden of the Nexus looks after the flames. She's a morose type, with eyes occluded by wax. She can control souls like no other. Bring her the souls of men and demons, and she will embolden your flesh and blood with their power. But beware. Do not devolve into a foul beast.
It's no wonder, really, is it, all this talk of eyes and beasts and great old ones. The people were and still are, at least the good old glitch roll, or at least mildly convinced, even to this date, that Demon Souls and Bloodborne are connected and possibly were supposed to be more overtly connected. Than is now. There's like that infamous line, isn't there? The people who managed to break free of the confines of the alpha test and get to the Gascoigne fight that wasn't supposed to be seen or played at that point, found that he would say Umbasa, which is the religious version. It's the prayer word. It's like the version of Amen.
We have long awaited you, Slayer
exists in
of
this world.
Demons. I am one of the monumentals. We preserve the fabric of reality. There is something thou needest to know. Once, we too, a scourge of demons faced. In the distant past, under a benevolent rule, the world was united, owing to the soul arts.
Sounds beautiful, Tripitaka.
A lust for power caused the awakening of the Old One. Across the
Yeah.
land seeped a colorless, deep fog.
Pretty
The
standard
world
Lovecraft fare
faced
so far.
extinction at the hands of the demons.
This seems like
Thankfully,
more stuff that would have happened in
we
the
were able
Dreamlands in
to
H.P.
lull the
Lovecraft's
Old One
books.
back to his slumber, yet only after the loss of innumerable souls
Whereas Bloodborne's more
and
like
half the world
the Great One's
lost,
interactions in our world.
erased by the fog.
Demon Souls is kind of like what
In
I would
order
picture
to
happening in
mend
the
fabric
Dreamlands.
of what land still remained, we entrusted 6 elders with 6 precious archstones. 1 to the king of a small yet diligent land. 1 to the king of the burrowers underground. 1
Dwarves
to
that
the
you never
White
see.
Queen of the great ivory tower. 1 to the chieftain of lost and ill-fortuned souls.
Who you never see.
1 to the shaman of the tempest-worshipping shadowmen.
Him you do sort of see.
And the last to the great giants of the Northern Lands.
Ah, the big tragedy.
The archstones were placed
The
at
level that was never
nodes
completed.
across the earth. We contained the Old One inside this nexus and banned the soul arts.
Doesn't work.
Finally, we became monumentals,
Can't just ban something and make it go away.
sentinels of the fabric of reality.
If you hide it, people will just try and find it.
The other monumentals have perished, and only I remain.
I do question how exactly they died if you guys are in a state of undeath, essentially. That's always intrigued me.
Now it is your turn. You must lull the Old One back to its slumber, and seal it away for all eternity. If not,
Anyone know a lullaby?
the deep fog will absorb all that we know. Have you the strength to accept this mission?
Yeah, of course we do.
Yes. We are
Brother
fortunate
hero.
indeed to have you.
Yes,
Now,
you are.
Go forth and destroy every last demon. The
You
Old
got a
One,
Tripitaka.
without demons to feed its souls, will a new servant seek and lure you to its bosom.
Oh my. See you around, folks.